Well, here it is. Left me stranded again. It's the 2012 zx6r. I'm going to be replacing the fuel pump in it. I have previously replaced the fuel screen on this one, but have a brand new fuel pump that I will be installing instead. Assembly and everything. So let me give you a little bit of context. This bike's, like I said, 2012. Ended up having some kids, and of course their helmets, toys, stuff like that, toys in the background. Didn't really get to ride it as much. It's not very practical when you have a baby. Can't really carry a baby on the back of it, especially when you got to take them to daycare, school, things like that. So just recently this year started getting to ride again. I did put fuel stabilizer in there, but it sat for quite a few years. I did start it a couple times every month, just so I can run the gas through it and make sure, well, when it came time to ride, it stranded me in the middle of town. I had to have my brother come pick me up in the trailer and brought it back home. Ordered a new fuel screen for it, but when I took everything apart, it was just caked full of gel. So cleaned all the injectors, did all that fun stuff, cleaned the fuel lines, cleaned the whole entire fuel tank with soapy water. I tried to save some money and decided to just clean the old fuel pump with the ultrasonic cleaner that I got from Harbor Freight over here. It worked great. I saw tons of debris come out of it, but I only got about 2 days of riding out of it, and then the same thing started happening again. So what was happening was, right here on my tack, every time that I would try to give it gas, I would feel, it bogged down. It would only go to about 6,000 RPM, and it wouldn't go any higher than that. And it was just a fuel issue, like it wouldn't give me any power. And then it got to a point where it would just die. So let's get this helmet off here and get started. So this are some of the tools that you're going to need. This is a number 4. First, you're going to start off by getting these little screws down here. And get a parts tray. That sucker out. Set this right here. Let's go to the other side. Do the same exact thing. By the way, guys, I have a Queso 360 on right now. I don't really have anything that will hold my camera, so I had to stick it on my motocross helmet. So this isn't a very hard job. I recommend anybody that has a bike learn how to work on it. It's fairly easy. I mean, I do have mechanical experience, so I'm not really afraid to work on things, but my philosophy is just work on it. What's the worst that can happen? It's already broke, so you can only break it more, and at that point, then you can just hire someone to fix it. But it's always better to do it yourself. So there's 2 bolts that hold the seat on. Once you take those 2 out, the seat comes right off. Easy peasy. Alright. I want to get these vent hoses twist a little bit. Undone. Don't worry about those little clamps falling either. There is a little filter box that's down there that they'll stop so they don't go all the way down to the bottom of the bike. Okay. Pretty sure this bolt right here is a 10 millimeter. Yes, it is. Let me get my extension. That is the rear bolt. Then I'm going to switch to this. It's a number 5. Instead of taking all this and everything off, the steering dampener, I just take these 2 bolts out right here. One. That's broke loose. I'll switch back to this. If y'all have any questions, hit me up. Drop something in the comments. I do have other vehicles. I have a 2016 Can-Am Renegade. It's 1000cc. I've done some work on that. I also have a 2016 Can-Am Maverick 1000R Turbo. Done some work on that. So I mean, I'm an open book. I'll give you any and every advice that I've got on what to do. So now the tank should just lift freely. Don't pull too hard. So this is the connection. Just a little tabs. Pull, sorry, my bad. Do that. So the only thing that should be connected is the fuel line that's underneath now. Which you are going to get some gas that's going to come out of here. I did already empty my tank over there into that. But you can only get so much out. There's still going to be a little bit of residual on the bottom. Go. So this is stock from 2012. Obviously this is aftermarket. A new one of these, like OEM, is like 150 bucks. You can get on eBay, and I bid on this one for 45, and I won. So it is brand new. I already unboxed it. Like I said, I've already done all the injectors, everything like that. Man, that needs to be cleaned down there. But alright, over to the main event. These are number 10s as well. because I've already cleaned the inside of the tank previously. Like I said, it was horrible. I'm not really going to worry too much about showing you the inside of the tank. I will show you what this looks like. It's nothing super crazy, but you'll definitely be able to tell the age by what color the plastic is. So again, all these are number 10s also. So there's not a whole lot of parts that you need for this. I know this is almost the same exact fuel pump for like 2009 zx6rs and 10Rs until I think 2023 or 4. I think it's 23, so not a lot's changed, which is a good thing because that means the parts aren't outrageous expensive. There is a little bit of difference between these two fuel pumps. The only thing that I've seen is where they mounted the fuel gauge indicator. It's a little bit different than OEM, which is still on the top of the fuel pump, so it's going to be bright. Alright. This will just slide right out of here. So this is that piece that I was telling you about. Nothing too crazy. Get down inside the tank. Alright. Grab this. Huge difference. Alright, let me get a rag real quick. Alright. So when you put this on, the bolt holes will only line up one way. And that's the way that you have to install it. Which, nope. See? No, it's one will not line up. See? Hit this back this way. And I'm going to use some thread lock. I know it comes with red in the factory. I don't really care to use no red. Little goes a long way. this one over here. Don't worry guys, I'm not tightening them down. I'm just getting them a little. You want to treat this exactly like a car tire in a star pattern. So, I'm going to start this one. Time. There, guys, it looks like I'm tightening really hard, but I'm not. Just trying to make sure they're all seated. So, this little guy, put him up here so he doesn't fall down. This one up here so he doesn't fall back down. Nice little pull, make sure it's snug. Make sure it clears. So the moral of this story is, even though you have kids, still go out and ride your bike. Like, it don't matter if you just need a weekend off, a day away. Find someone to watch the kids. Me and my wife love to ride, so we try to find someone to watch the kids while, so we can go enjoy a quick little ride. And that's good. It's connected. Slack. sure that'll still hook under. And a bolt there and a bolt there. So this bolt. Seated. Make sure the fuel line's not kinked anywhere. Side note, if your handlebars turn while you're doing this, you'll have to straighten them back out because the steering dampener is super hard to push by hand. We're just going to put everything loosely back on. Make sure that your cables go underneath this little metal arm over here. So, see, that was over it. Again, we're not tightening these down all the way yet. Just making sure they're snug. That. Nice, secure. That's good. Alright, now up to the top. Everybody asks why I use this 1/4 inch instead of a 3/8 or half. Definitely don't need a half for this, but I do have 3/8 and half of this, but since I'm not using the torque wrench, I don't want to over tighten these. Let's strip this out. Nice and tight, cables are underneath. Alright, now on to the seat. What kind of music y'all listen to when y'all work on any of your motorcycles or toys or anything like that? You'll see that little hole right there. I'm at least trying to get 50 subscribers, so that way I can do some lives and work on some stuff with you. If you have questions, and you can ask me then. So if you would, please like and subscribe to this video. Sorry, I know that was a bad angle. Nice and tight. The other side, this one's good and tight. Good. And these are pretty easy to put on. This little piece right here, just make sure you line it up inside that hole. Boom. It automatically lines up with the bolt hole. Tuck in. Clip together. Push that Velcro to stick. Now the other side. Sure, my battery's about to die. Didn't charge it. Alright. Give me 1 second and we'll fill it up with fuel and give it a start. Okay. I'm obviously not going to pour all this in there because I want to check for leaks. But we will do enough to get it started. She thirsty. That should be good. So that is on. Alright. The only thing I'm doing right now is priming the fuel pump. Looks like she definitely works, and my power just went out. Thanks guys for watching.